Hello everybody, and welcome back to Reddit Stories. Today we're going to be reading some Yu-Gi-Oh! Horror stories, so sit back, relax, and let's get right into it. A story from one of my own games. I was playing Masked Heroes during PP format. Because I was a bit of a budget player at the time, and Dark Lord vs. Pensions was the best way for me to cheese wins. Anyway, the guy that kept winning locals was playing Infernoids this week, so I decided to main some hate for him. In the finals, it's me and him. Perfect. Game 1, he plays Reasoning straight off the bat. I chain Retaliating C and call 4, because I know he plays Triple Raiden. He looks at C and says, "Who the fuck mains this shit?" and banishes 20 cards from his deck before hitting Decatron. He then uses its effect, not realizing how, and if you do, works and gets shitty at my Retzi again. He ends turn and I OTK him. Game 2, he manages to squeeze the victory and starts getting a little bit cocky. Game 3, I start with the normal Dark Lord Turbo and set some back row. He normals Decatron and uses the effect to send Harmadic. I have to get the judge over again to explain to him, again, how and if you do works. He gets pissed off some more and then banishes a Divatiat from his hand to summon Harmadic in his hand and pop Dark Lord. Thank fuck, he says, as he plays Reasoning again. I call 6 this time, having watched the previous games. He then mills until he hits a Jinzo, and it goes to grave. On resolution, I say, in response, and flip my Imperial Iron Wall, and he loses shit, starts cursing, and picks up his stuff and walks out. I think the story is, really funny, because this guy is apparently continuously winning locals, yet doesn't know, the simple rules of Yu-Gi-Oh! You know, for those who don't know, when a card says, and if you do, it means that you have to follow the path. So if it says, normal summon this card and send a card to the graveyard, and if you do, you have to send that card to the graveyard in order to activate the second part of the effect. Reading is fundamental. It's very important in these types of games. And it's really weird that a guy who kept winning locals all the time just can't read. Alright, story 2. I recently told my moo story.
You what?
So I'll try another one. Moo. Some of these abbreviations, I don't know what they mean. Locals are holding an LSDS, and it's my first time ever hearing about this. The prize is a Dark Magician mat. I don't plan on entering, but after some heavy convincing from my friends, I sign up. Game 1, I'm matched up against Mr. Hotshot, regular topping player, and one of the best and more known players at my locals. He looks at me when I say I'm his R1 opponent, and says out loud, "Oh cool, a free win. Nice." Since everyone knew I played Kaiju Weasels and couldn't afford another deck, he makes me go first. I set for him, pass. He stops laughing to himself. He tries to do things with his shiny new deck and runs into my one copy of Macrocosmos. He can't play. I beat him down with Wells, and he says he lost to a Floodgate and calls Macro bullshit. I mean, he's right, I guess. Game 2, he sides and makes me go first, again, and is greeted turn 1 by Dimensional Fissure. He's angry now, throwing down whatever card he can manage. He finally draws an out to Fissure, but he misses my other set card, Macrocosmos. He's salty now. He finally gets a beat stick on board. I slumber for game. God, I've played with Kaijus and against Kaijus, and getting slumbered after you finally manage to break through whatever floodgates they've got. It's so demoralizing. The dude gets up and yells at me that I have a terrible deck and I'm a bad player, and demands I give him the win because he's better than me, and he needs the win for the new Dark Magician mat, bro. He just got a Dark Magician deck. He then storms off after that and peeps at the shopper laughing. Are you the guy that just 2-0'd the hotshot player? I really like this story. It's some classic karma. You chatted shit and then you got banged. What more do you want? That's exactly how it's meant to go. I hope this guy fought back on his previous mistakes and realized It's just it's not the way to act when you're playing with people that you don't really know that well. It was clear from like him saying easy win, and the guy said, "Oh yeah, they know I play Kaiju Weasels." So he clearly goes to his local shop often enough for people to know what he plays. So like laughing at him and putting him down, he clearly just thinks he's just better than him, and that's not very nice. Anyway, next story. This one, it's not even one of my favourite Yu-Gi-Oh stories I've ever read. It's one of my favourite stories, period, that I've ever read. It's got everything. Cards, handshakes, sweaty nerds. So it's basically the same as every Yu-Gi-Oh tournament ever. Let's get right into it. Hello, Zodiac. I'm very happy to be part of this group of Yu-Gi-Oh players, and I really have a lot of fun here, even if I don't participate much. But today, I'm going to tell you a disadventure that really makes my blood boil. A few months ago, I started playing Yu-Gi-Ohs again in the comic shop in my city. This has actually given me great satisfaction, but a month and a half ago, a problem has arisen that really drives me crazy. Two girls came into the game store to play Yu-Gi-Oh! You're probably wondering, so, what's the problem? The problem is that these girls behave in an unsportsmanlike manner. In the game store, every Yu-Gi-Oh tournament, everyone acts according to the Yu-Gi-Oh manners rule in order to create a friendly environment, and that means at the start of the game and at the end of every game, you shake your opponent's hand. But the girls do at their own discretion. They shake hands voluntarily only with the cool and beautiful guys at the comic book shop. While when a handshake is offered by an ugly duelist, they just smile and don't shake hands. God, it's so hard to be a Sigma with a cold heart in these trying times. Let's get back to it. I and the other ugly duelists have noticed this attitude, and we get a little bit annoyed by that, and we reported the girl's attitude to the owner of the shop, who told us not to get angry for such silly little things. But I decided not to give up, and I decided to make these little shake hands with me willingly or not. I brought two cards from the internet, Yugioh Friendship and Unity, which are legally playable cards but with specific effects. The combination of these two cards forces the opponent to accept a handshake. I entered with 3 of each of these cards in my side deck, and I went to the tournament. When it was time to duel one of which obviously did not shake my hand at the beginning of the match, while with the previous cute opponent had done it. In the second duel of the match, I sided these cards and drawn both of them straight away. I used the combo to force them to shake my hand. Obligatory. But the refuse, to which I got mad, and I turned everything over by tearing her card. A $5 deck. She always got last place along with her femoid friend, until I've been blocked by other players, and the owner kicked me out of the shop, threatening to report me to the police, and as if it was not enough, he appealed to Konami to make me included in the list of banned players from the game. I obviously complained, and I said that if that bitch had shaken my hand by behaving in a sporty way, I would not have lost my mind. Yeah, bro. You're right, it's totally her fault that you went crazy on her. I'm not the typical stinking neckbeard nerd. I am thin, I sweat very little, I wash myself every day, and I always wash my armpits by sprinkling them with deodorant before leaving home. The only reason for the behavior of these is that they are a monster of ugliness. I have a very squinty eyes, and I'm ashamed of them. Another plausible reason is not there, but it is possible that we ugly gamers cannot forget to be sexually generic trash, even in our own territory, because some fucking fake gamer will come and judge us for our appearance. My misogyny diminished and had stabilized in recent times, because I had my head focused on other things, but after this episode my anger is growing every day, and I hear more and more to call to participate in the incel rebellion, as my incel comrade Scott Burrell, 40-year-old virgin, did a week ago. Oh my god. So I've known about this story for years, and I've been waiting to tell it on this show, and I mean, I've waited till episode 2, so I didn't wait that long. Oh my god. This is a true horror story. This guy thought he was in the right. He thought he was in the right for doing this. Imagine for yourself. Put yourself in this instance. You're a woman. just a woman in general. You and your friend like Yu-Gi-Oh! You liked the cartoon, you decide to get into it. So you buy some cheap starter decks and you start going to tournaments to meet people who play the game, get involved with the community, normal stuff. This is a space that was made for you as well, as a enjoyer of the game. And, you're shaking people's hands. You're not shaking other people's hands, maybe because you don't feel comfortable. Maybe there's some people that you've already made a rapport with and that you're talking well. And, you just feel comfortable shaking their hands. I doubt this guy is one of them. The card as well, Unity and Yugioh Friendship. I own these cards. A friend got them for me for my birthday years ago. I love them. It just says you have to accept the handshake. You don't actually have to shake anyone's hand if you don't want to. That's messed up. For him to get so mad that he stood up and started ripping her cards up, he should be banned from tournaments for life. I'm sorry. Or at least until he can make a good appeal and reflect on his actions, which I've censored a lot of his language in here because I just don't feel comfortable calling people that. But oh my god, he is extremely sexist, that's for sure. Oof, I think I might do one more, guys, and then we'll move on to the next episode. At my locals, the 50-year-old store owner will sometimes participate in tournaments if a low number of players show up. The problem being that he runs a deck that's about 12 years old. I'm talking Nightmare, Steel Cage, Swords of Revealing Light, Man-Eater Bug, Necrobally, Swarm of Scarabs, and Stealth Bird. Well, the store owner sits across from a kid who can sometimes get on people's nerves. The kid is playing Blue Eyes. Let's call him Joe. Game 1. A few turns goes by and the store owner has nothing on field or in hand. Joe has enough damage on board to win, but proceeds to combo out and get a larger field to show off. The store owner, already frustrated by the newer cards and has a short temper, he says, "Joe, you can see I don't have anything on my field, just attack me." Joe keeps going in order to get a bigger field, in case the store owner has something to stop him. But the store owner is unamused. He says, Joe, if you don't stop playing cards and just attack me, I will disqualify you from the tournament." Joe angrily attacks and goes to Game 2. Game 2 goes the same way as Game 1. The store owner exhausted his resources. Joe deals about 6,000 points of damage to the store owner and passes his turn. The store owner plays a smashing ground and passes with nothing on his field or hand. Joe begins to do Blue Eyes things and summon a bunch of dragons. The store owner, with a crazed look on his face, says, "Joe, I swear to God, if you keep playing cards, I will fucking disqualify you from this tournament." Joe attacks the store owner and proceeds to get pissy for the rest of the night. Bonus, the store owner is playing my friend running Burning Abyss. The store owner says that Necrovalley negates all effects coming out of the graveyard. In his words, if it hits the graveyard, it's negated. Done. It's over. We tried to explain to him that's not how it works. He wants nothing of it. Just so the store owner will shut up, my friend plays using the rules the store owner is using and forcing upon him. My friend still won, but holy shit, what a show. I'm going to be controversial here. So, do I think that kid was messed up for continuing to combo? Kind of, but at the same time, if you want to practice your combo, that's your own, prerogative. I think that owner who was there playing a 12-year-old deck, he either needs to stop participating in the tournament, or make a new deck that's, at least, even if it's just more fun to play, at least, up to date with the meta. Because it's not everyone else's fault that he can't keep up, Well, anyway, that's been all our Reddit stories. Which one's your favourite? Mine's the neckbeard handshake one. Can't stress that enough. That is my favourite story because it's so ridiculous. For these Chad women to be belittled by this loser man. God. Leave a comment down below if you like these videos. Please like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.